What up, y'all? It's Chris Weathers, aka Shorty C94, back at you again with yet another episode of Shorty Sneaker Conversations. I was about to say Shorty's Fits and Kicks. Anyway, this is episode 155. What's going on? Welcome in. Let's see if we can get our guest. So Froze D, Jason 24. Let's get A-Dub. All right, we're going to get going here in just a sec. I just sent the invite, sir. Check your inbox there. Okay, there we go. Okay, I hit accept. All right, hopefully. Hey, Eric, say you unable to join, man. I just sent the invite again. There we go.
There we go.
What's going on, Mr. Weathers?
My guy, how you doing?
Hey, I know I told you this when we met, but you're the only other person with our last name I've ever met. That's not, we probably are related somewhere. We just don't know. But yeah, you're the only other Weathers I met that's not a no relative. So
And
welcome to Shorty
the,
Sneaker
cra-
Conversation.
the crazy part is, like, we got a family reunion coming up in about a year. So I'm like,
Oh,
he want to make
okay.
some connection, you know what I mean? So
Yeah, because our last name isn't common,
it is.
you know.
It isn't. So my pops, um, he's from Kentucky, and I
Okay,
know, like, you know what I mean, that kind of, I'm not gonna say it originated there, but a lot of times if I meet somebody, I kind of just associate that area with my name. So I kind of just go from there with that, you know.
got you. All right, man. Well, I'm gonna just dive right in. I'm sorry, Converse has got me kind of locked down, so I didn't get to send you any of the show notes or anything. But
Yeah, you good, man.
um, we'll just start with what was your first kind of sneaker moment or sneaker memory?
Mm, man, man. I think it's really a couple of them, like two really in particular. Um, so I always remember, like, okay, yes, I was born in the 90s, but I'm a basketball fanatic. So I do remember seeing Jordan playing in championship series and games and stuff like that. And for him to when I really remember him seeing them the flu games, the
Mm,
the playoff 12s, you know what I mean? Like it just oh man, it's just like I got to have those. Like the nostalgia with those,
mm,
the iconic moments, the just championship run he had in those, man, it was just so like mind blowing. Besides the fact that, like he did his thing on the court, just seeing those shoes and it's like, dog, it just added another level of killer to it. So it just that and as well as when I got a little older, um, I'm gonna say about my eighth grade year. Uh, I just remember I really got a good look at those playoff 12s again. Like I really like got a good hold on, a good feel for them, and I was like, good God, man! I remember because all my boys had them, so it was just like, man, I gotta partake. So
so that was like the first retro, like '04.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that release. It came out on Valentine's Day. I was working for Foot Action then, pre-Foot Locker Foot Action, mind you. So whole different thing.
Hey, that's crazy. What would you say about yours too? What would you say your real origin is?
So I was fortunate to have a father that was really into basketball.
Okay.
He wasn't never in the league or anything, but he used to play basketball quite a bit. He was playing basketball like 3 times a week, almost
Okay.
like an NBA player. You know, they'd rent out gyms, him and his friends, and he would hoop. But so I had like Converse weapons when I was a kid. I had Jordans, big Nikes, Nike Air Force 2s, but I started following the NBA in fourth grade, which for me, that
Okay.
was 90,
Okay.
91, was fourth grade. And like my dad came home with the entire Air Jordan 6 like capsule. He had the hat, it's the 90s, so he had a short set.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I remember. I remember.
Had the Jumpman here, had the Jordan 6, the Air Jordan with the Jumpman going through it on the back. He had it on the side of his shorts, and he had it on the sixes, and he had the Air Jordan bag and the hat. He had the whole thing. The only thing he didn't have was the flight suit. So I just remember seeing the sixes and that infrared. It was just like glowing. Like I had Jordans before, but that was the first Jordan I ever wanted.
I understand.
Like
I understand.
because I was wearing the fire red fives with the silver tongue at the
Okay.
time. I
Okay.
was like, oh, you got the Jordans. And before I could say, did you get me some? He was like, yeah, I didn't get them for you, but we're gonna go downtown to see Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. So we have a mall in downtown Cleveland
Okay.
called Tower City, and
Okay.
it was new at the time. So, you know, they had a Foot Locker and a Champs in there. So he was like, but we can go down there and get them. I want to get your foot measured or whatever, but, you know, you get them tomorrow. So I was like up late, just like, damn, I'm going to get the Jordans. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I feel.
and I was the only kid at school with them, and that just changed me forever. I was never the same after that.
I see that. I definitely understand. It's something about having them kicks on your feet, and it's just like y'all might not understand, but man, y'all not feeling me right now, you know. So
And see, it was interesting because when the 6 came out in 2014, and I know you remember, everybody was complaining about that it was too pink. You know, because a lot of people think it's sort of like with the Aquas, like, oh, I want the OG, but I'm like, you're just thinking about the 2007 one. It's different.
exactly.
That's just the old retro. It's not the same. People are like, who want the varsity red? But I remember distinctly every black and red 6 from 1991 was made different. Some of them were redder, some of them were pinker. More were pink than there were red,
Understandable.
and they were never like the varsity red from 2010. They were never that dark. So, but yeah, I know I've kind of went deep into it, but it's just such a special moment for me. And the 6 is it's the one Jordan where no matter how they color it, I'm gonna at least look at it. But anytime a black and red 6 comes out, I have to have it. Like when I met you, I was still married. You know, she knew. Like, look, I'm getting at least 2 pairs of these. In 2014, at one point, I had 8. I probably still got 5 or 6, but I had 8 at one point. You know.
Hey, that's hey, respect.
Yeah,
Respect.
that's my
Respect.
that's one of my shoes. I mean, the Magic Johnson Converse weapon is up there too, but you know. But
And
yeah.
see, that's why. And don't mean to cut you off, but that's why I mean, like talking to certain people, I know, like, okay, like you do this, and without a shadow of a doubt, like how I met you, I was like, of course, I automatically just gravitated towards you because I was working, you know what I mean, just giving that customer service. But when we had that conversation and we just really dove deep, I was like, oh yeah, this it's no game.
Yeah.
Like it's definitely deep. It's definitely history. It's definitely some nostalgia. It's definitely love for the game. And it's just like it's a breath of fresh air because you see a lot of people nowadays, and it's just it's incredible like what you get, you know, and where the game is. And so to hear real true OGs talk about not only just Jordan but like the originator, like the all stars, the Adidas, the Converses, because again a lot of people fail to realize we were this close from Converse being Converse, like how Nike is Nike. We was this close from Converse being Converse, and I don't think a lot of people like realize that. So like to hear true OGs talk about like, yo, I had this and that and this, I'm like, you come from a whole different time, a whole different era, and it's still and it's fascinating, you know. So
I mean, I appreciate that. You know, I was
much
just
love.
thinking, like we met in 2020. Her and I had just moved down here, and that was because it was Northgate, but it wasn't like in the mall anymore,
I
right?
thought it was it was either no,
Or it was Camp.
it was Crabtree.
It wasn't Northgate.
No, 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 no. Because I was only at Northgate for a short amount of time, and I mean like 4 or 5 months, and we rarely saw customers because it was during COVID. It was kind of like a pop up store. Like I like you. If the only reason you know is because you was in the loop, quote unquote. If not, you didn't know that store was open. So
Now you know what the reason why the reason why I know that it was because what I bought from you. I think that we ran into each other at Crabtree too.
oh, okay. I remember Crabtree. I don't really remember. My bad. That's on me.
Because Northgate, I remember it was it was in a store that wasn't really a Champs or a Foot Locker. It was like makeshift because the mall was
Yeah.
closed. I had bought the first time I met you. I bought some Club C's that had Tom and Jerry drawn all over them. It
Oh,
wasn't even like a kick. It was just because I'm into
yeah.
cartoons.
Yeah.
So any kind of Converse Vans with a cartoon on it, I'm gonna get it. But I I don't have those shoes here with me.
I got.
There, most of the stuff like that I have is in
I feel it.
storage. But I feel like I had your code on there. I feel like it said Northgate, but I'm old. I could be wrong. But I remember Northgate being like that. Out of
Yeah.
Foot Locker and I still call when I used to work for DTLR, it was still Sneaker Villa.
Okay.
It was separate things.
Okay.
So I still
Okay.
call DTLR Villa. But there was a Villa, a Champs, and a Foot Locker, and the Foot Locker and the Villa was on the side, and the Champs
Like,
was kind
yeah.
of over
Right. It was
here.
right beside it.
Yeah.
Literally right beside.
So, but yeah. That was crazy times. We got to go we came down here in 2019 just to kind of look around and see what it was like down here. Obviously, I didn't think we were ever going to move here, but Northgate was still open the first time we came down, but it was
Yeah.
like, so, but I could tell that mall used to be raw.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know.
So I'm not from that. I'm not from that area.
Mm-hmm.
So long story short, I was with my girl ex now at the time, whatever, and so I really got up there when COVID happened. So when I got in there, they were saying that hey, this mall's going to close, so it's a matter of time. And like my manager at the time, shout out to my boy Chase, is definitely the GOAT, but so he was telling me like how the experience was in the mall and how they used to run it because he was at Champs. I think he was at Foot Locker for a little minute, and then they were just him and another guy was just they were doing a big one out there. So they were saying that was the mall, quote unquote, especially for us. So he was just telling me all that they had and all that it came with it, but at the same time, they was in the works of closing it, and then COVID happened, so it was like the perfect opportunity. So I really didn't get a feel or sense of that mall, and I only really got a sense of just that outside little outlet looking thing they had going on. So yeah, I can't really speak too hard in regards to it.
Got
So
you. Well, do you remember your favorite shoe your favorite? You remember your first shoe that you purchased yourself, and do you remember where you got it?
ooh, 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 ooh. Mm. I'm trying to think because man, because I remember like what I truly remember because I remember I can't say myself because I think the first shoe I probably brought myself was like some Air Forces. I think they were like they used to come out with the old freaky colorway. So I think they were white. They were mostly white, black, and red. That's what I truly remember. But as far as like, okay, like I gotta have this shoe. It was the Flint 13s. It was my birthday, 2004. And at this time, I remember for months, I was like, I don't know. And I was on 23.com, 23isback.com.
Ah,
Yeah.
take it back.
And that was the source. Like you used to go there. I was like, what's dropping this day? You was like, they had every little thing that you can kind of little icons on the side. They got these shorts and stuff coming out with them, whatever. So I remember I just got up there one day and I was like, I saw they were dropping on my birthday. So I was like, yeah, they got to come home. And at this time, the crazy part is I didn't have a job. I didn't have no money. You know what I mean? I'm in high school, freshman in high school. So I told my pops, I was like, Dad, I, I don't want nothing else. I want these shoes. I know. And at that time, my dad is one of those like, oh, all that amount for shoes. I'm not. I was like, Dad, like I wholeheartedly get it, but it's my birthday. Like, please, I have to have these. And like everybody around me kind of knew, like I was talking about them for I know months, and everybody around me like, oh man, I hope you get these shoes. So and I couldn't go back to school on that Monday without them. And see, this around the time too, where like no matter where you went, you knew they were there. So I distinctly remember getting up on my birthday. It was like 1 o'clock. Got my life together, and we went to so I'm from Charlotte, so we went to Dick's Sporting Goods.
Okay.
I don't know why we went to Dick's Sporting Goods, but we went to Dick's Sporting Goods. And I went up there and I was like, my pops finally, I convinced my pops. He took me. He was like, all right, let's come on now. Tell the man what you want. So and and whole time I'm kind of nervous. I'm like, do they still got them? Like, I think I'm too late. Like, whatever. But he went up there. I was like, yeah, man, can I get I forgot what my size at the time. I think it was like a 10 half. He was like, I was like, yeah, man, y'all got a 10 and a half? He was like, man, I got plenty. Got the shoe, put it on. I was like, oh my God, this is what I've been waiting for. And so my pop's like, come on, bring him to the register. He bought them, and birthday was made. Like I was on class, I was on 10. Like, it was such a great feeling.
Yeah, I remember that retro because it was made well.
Yeah.
To be like 05, 13. It
Yeah.
was made well. I had it all the way up until I sold it to a friend before we moved down here because he just wanted that specific one because that 05 Flint, the gray was a lot darker
Yeah.
than the OGs
It
or the
was.
2010 or the new one. Like I have had all of them except the new one. The new one from 2020 let me know that the shoe game had changed.
Man.
Because I'm still working for Foot Locker in 2020. And the Foot Locker I was in a dead mall like Northgate, where when everything opened back up after the shutdown, the only thing that was open in the whole mall was Foot Locker, Finish Line, and Lens Crafters. And there was a Charlie's Steakery that was like twice as much as every other Charlie's Steakery. The whole mall was hollowed out, and our mall, it was falling apart. So everybody opened up at the end of May. We didn't open back up until like around 4th of July.
Oh.
So I got like extended time where I was kind of going to random other Foot Lockers and working and just kind of hanging around the house, just having Foot Locker pay me. But
I feel that.
That release let me know it was going to be different because you know how it is. It's like, oh, you hear it's full family, it's going to be a lot of pairs.
Right.
And I was like, well, either we'll be open back by then or some other Foot Locker I have Mr. 13, so the hood is going to eat it up. But it's still going to be pairs.
Exactly.
And I still don't have that 2020 retro of that shoe. Even still. Like, I had a chance to get it from Courtside in Greensboro. I don't usually do the resale shops, but they have a used wall, and they had like a Black Friday sale. So her and I went there, and they had them for like $140, but they also had a pair of Dornbecker 10s for the same price. So I'm like, I'm gonna see these Flints again. And now, I mean, you can get a pair of used Flints for $70, $80 in decent shape. But I had to get those Dornbecker 10s, and I didn't even really like it, but it's just, I'm like, yeah, I can't leave this here for the same price as that. DR.
Exactly. It makes perfect sense.
Yeah, so and I've only worn them like 2 or 3 times, but I'm like, I just can't pay resale for a regular shoe. It's like the fives this year. That's the only Jordan I've want that I couldn't get that I would have bought. I'm like
Man, nah.
as long I've been a Nike employee for almost 5 years. There's never been a five sellout since I've been with the company.
Man, listen. Now like so for me, I'm not big on fives. I got a couple pair. You know what I mean? But for them, something said, you know what? Like they're dope. Don't get me wrong, but something said like I'm gonna pass. Respectfully, I'm going to pass.
Mm-hmm.
So like, and you know me, I could have got it with
Of
ease, but it's just like yeah. And I tell my people like, yo, if you need it, let me know. And again, like I know, but hey, for future reference, if you need it, let me know. You know?
Okay.
So I mean, I ain't got no problem sharing the wealth, man. Like it's a part of the game. It's a part of the biz, and I never have problem looking out for good people. I mean, that it comes with the territory, you know. So if you need it, don't hesitate.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
Always.
See, the thing is, like, if I was, if things were as they were when you and I met,
Mm-hmm.
it would have been up in the air whether or not I would have got them because my 2016 pair is still ice.
I got you.
But there have been certain classic Jordans that have come out where it's like, and I know this is going to sound bad, but I'm just being honest. 85% of my sneakers are in storage. I can't fit them all in this apartment because I'm used to living in a house.
Okay.
So with that, some of the classic Jordans, I'm like I bought another pair of cement threes, even though my 2018 pair was good. I just wanted a pair for the apartment because I had to combine my storages into one storage.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's not like before where I'm like, I want to wear my storm blue ones from 2016 because I found this shirt to go with it. I can't just put my hand on it. They're all just in there. You know what I'm saying? So I
Hey.
can't just be like, I'm going to do this. I can grab some Kobe's because they're at the front. So I kind of know where some of the Kobe's are. Like I was going to pull my with the Kobe's and do a comparison review because she had got a pair of the new ones. They're
Mm-hmm.
exactly the same though. They look just like the pair from
I
2013.
got you.
The box is just different.
Yeah.
But I can't go out to the storage because it just depresses me that all my shoes are just jammed into it's a 10 by 30.
Okay.
It's the biggest I have. So
Okay.
here I've got like an assortment of Jordans but it's mainly just Converses here in
I
this
feel it.
apartment.
I feel it.
So I was like, well, I want a pair of black fives for the apartment. I don't really care about the white laces or the 3M or whatever,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's arguably the shoe of the year.
That may be.
It's heavily resold for
It,
just for us that's a regular ass shoe. You know what I'm saying? And then when I think I know it's different times, and when her and I talk now, she'd be like, "You still be thinking with a pre-pandemic brain, even with the kicks?" Because I'm like, in 2016, I had to sell them. Now they were 225. You remember how they was making everything Nike Air
yeah.
225?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was part of it. Now that's just a regular shoe price. But
Facts. Facts.
I had to sell them. I had one nigga that wanted a 13, and I had to rest there. I'm like, damn, man, it's been an hour since the nigga's been here. What am I going to do? You know what I'm saying? I don't want to call the resellers just yet, but I call some of my people like, man, you don't need these fives,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
So for
Yeah.
them to,
Look out for it.
yeah, for them to go the way they went, it was surprising because I didn't buy the 12s. I'm not a really big I shouldn't say I'm not a big 12 guy. I just don't like the fluke games. Like I have my 2016 pair here, but it's my least favorite of the OGs because it's the
I'm not mad at it. I mean, everybody got their thing. Everybody got their thing. So.
like I still like I have still got like 4 of them. I know it sounds crazy, but 2003 I was working for Foot Action, so I was able to get 2 from there. I mean, the discount then they were only like $94. And they were Foot Action was my second job, so
we used to be.
I just had money.
We used to be a country.
Yeah. So I have a pair from '97, 2 pairs from '03, and I have a pair from 2016. But it's the only 12 that doesn't have 3 colors on it.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
the taxi is the only 12 at this point I would probably buy over again, and hopefully it's not no foolery with that later this year because my pair from 2013 is still good, but
I got you.
I need a brand new pair of those.
I feel
You
that.
know, but yeah, so I bought some shoes over again just because I'm unwilling to try to dig through storage because one time I'm gonna say this too. Um, One time I had it open and somebody walked by and saw it and they were just trying to talk to me for like 30 minutes. And it was like to the point where I was uncomfortable and I'm like, yeah, if I ever go to the store, it just got to be like at 6 in the morning when it first opens because I can't deal with this shit.
I
You know,
feel, I
fortunately,
feel that.
they were like moving out and I was moving to another bin. But, it's just where I'd rather just almost buy it again, as crazy as that
I
sounds.
get it. I get it. But and it's also like now anybody that like I do that. You know what I mean? Like I had it then, I buy it now. It's just it's I don't know. It's the nostalgia with the shoe. It's the feeling of the shoe. Like it takes you back to the time when was. Even
Yes.
it's the present, of course, but it takes you back to then, and it's just like God. I feel that youthfulness again. I feel that era again. I feel that oh man, like this is it. Like it takes me back to a
Yeah.
time to where you know what I mean. The sneaker game was different.
It was pure.
So it's just God. It hits home on a different level.
Mm.
So like yeah, like you said with those taxis, like of course, like well, see you nowadays you never know what you're going to get because like I remember in this past December when those blue I think I forgot the name of it, but those blue 12s that
Oh,
dropped.
those
So I'm thinking,
blueberries.
yeah, the blueberry joints, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm thinking, okay, I was at the store at the time and I'm thinking, I know I want them because 12s are my favorite Jordan
Oh, okay.
and blue is my color. So I'm thinking like, oh, okay, like I'll get them. My store didn't get them at the time. Don't ask me why we didn't get them, but we didn't get them. So I know Foot Locker got them. I knew a couple people in there. I knew I could get them, but I wasn't even tripping on it because I knew nobody wanted them. Now the day comes and it's like blue 12, blue 12, blue 12, blue 12, blue 12. I was like, what? It's like you never know what you're gonna get from this community nowadays. So them 12, so the taxis, if they do numbers, it wouldn't even surprise me. I know I want them, but if they do numbers, it's not a surprise at all.
And what's interesting is they've had at least five. eh, it's been a number of 12s. Those taxis
Mm.
with the gold,
Oh
taxis with the red,
yeah,
the Chinese New Year's that look like the taxis with the
yeah,
gold,
yeah.
and royalty. Uh,
Royalty, something like that. Yeah, royalty. Yeah,
so they had that GS12 with the trees on the side.
yeah.
Um,
It was like Grace Coupe or whatever.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So I know that they're gonna do numbers, and I know I'm gonna sound like a snob when I say this. I don't want to offend anyone.
Hey,
It really, working for a lot of shoe store companies before working for Nike themselves through Converse, of course.
uh-huh.
Hibbett was really what showed me that the 12, and I'm not disrespecting it. I know it's your favorite Jordan. It's a hood nigga Jordan. Like
I can't even be mad at it. I'm not mad at it. That's real though.
I worked at Hibbett from 2018 till almost 2020.
Okay. Okay.
So during that time, we had those winterized 12s. We had
Okay.
those all-way 12s. We had those FIBA 12s, those black and blue 12s
Okay.
that look sort of like the flu games.
Okay. Yeah, you're proving your point.
Like they just ate all of them up. And the store I was running, the Hibbett I was running was an urban Hibbett. They're all urban now.
Yeah.
But there were only like maybe 30 of them that were like that when I was working there. Because the store, before I took it over, they had baseball bats, helmets. And they got rid of all that shit when I
Yeah.
came.
Yeah.
Chris
Yeah.
is here.
Yeah.
Let's get some Jordans.
They knew what's up. They knew what time it was. They knew what's up.
Jordans and wheat Timbs. White Air Force Ones. So, but,
That's funny.
That's
fun.
when I saw that Blueberry 12, I was like, oh, the hood is going to have a fucking field day with these.
Man, the hood YNs, females. Like I was like,
Oh
yeah, it was mind blowing, man. It was mind blowing.
Now the experience you had with people calling for the flu games, and it was completely surprising. It's the greatest tax time Jordan of all time. That Master 12. That was insane. The only release that I worked that was worse than that for a 12 was the taxis in 2013. And you know how the shoe game was in 2013.
Yeah, that's when
everything was selling out.
Yeah, you had to. Yeah.
Even bullshit was selling out. You know, I'm not. Look, I'm gonna say this too, and I shouldn't. I got to be careful what I say because watching.
Do your thing. Hey, we keep it real. Do your thing.
I honestly feel like with certain number Jordans, they don't make as many pairs as they make for other numbers. Like that white, black, and red 14, the OG, like it's sold out and never got restocked by Nike. I think the only place that I'm never going to call it JD Sports is Finish Line. It's always going to be Finish Line.
Gotcha.
They were the only place that restocked it. Now, you know, I'll be looking for the restocks because usually the way it works for us, we don't get no love on the sneakers app.
Sure.
Okay. So we have to, you know, we have to use the swoosh and it has to be on regular Nike.com.
Absolutely.
So I'm like, man, nobody care about the 14s. I mean, it's an OG. But then tying back into the YNs, I'm like, well, it's white, black, and red. So niggas don't really have to think too much to match it.
Exactly.
Sell out. And they sold out. They were gone. Like, so that's why I say, like, we had when I was with Foot Locker, because I've worked for Foot Locker like 4 or 5 times.
Sure.
When I was there right before the shutdown, when those denim 6s came out, people thought this is going. I'm like, man, anybody gonna buy these?
Man.
I'm like, it's a good made shoe. It's not a Levi's. It's not Levi's.
Yeah.
Even if it was, niggas aren't gonna buy it because you have to think too much to match it. If it's white and blue, black and red, white and red, fucking black and yellow 12s were everywhere.
Bulls colors.
Yeah, or just primary colors. Oh, it's yellow. Del Sol 13. I got a yellow shirt at City Trends. I'm gonna match it. Oh man. What up to everybody, Jordan? I'm not trying to be, you know, but you see what kind of demographic I'm painting.
Yeah.
That's who buys the 12s, 13s, 9s.
Man.
11s are for everybody. 11s are like that pretty girl in school everybody wants to get with.
Hey, don't talk about it now. Don't talk about it.
11s are for everybody, but the 12s and the 13s,
the
girls, they pretty, but they hood where you like, and I like her, but I don't even know if I want her in my house. You know what I'm saying?
Man, they'll get me started. But yeah, man, I was talking to a guy the other day about you'll see mad restocks. You'll see them. But it's something about them 14s. Once they drop, that's it. I don't know what is so iconic with that 14. That model, but they'll put it out there one time. And if you get it, you get it. You don't, you don't. It's no restocking it. I don't understand.
But what's interesting is, if you look at the OG colorways of the 14, most of them have only been retro once.
True.
Now, the Indiglo 14s didn't sell in 2016. The oxidized greens didn't sell in 2016. The only time I sold the black and red 14s well was 2018 because like the 20th anniversary of the last shot.
Gotcha. Okay.
I was at him. It was a black and red Jordan. Niggas bought it.
Exactly.
Euclid. But like the black, I just call them white, black, and red 14s. I don't always go by the newfangled nicknames.
Black
but the black toe 14 and the white and the candy cane, those to me are the only 14s that really sell. As far as OG colorways. Sure. The Laney did okay. It sold as a low. Yeah. It sold as a high. But the others generally sit. Like if you came out with an Indiglo 14 right now, I don't think people would buy it. It would have to be limited.
Yeah.
We might buy it, but regular people, hood cats, they ain't buying that.
Yeah, it's something. It's just if I don't know if you got on, like those indigo colorways, you know what I mean? Like they'll sit because again, like if it's kind of, and that's the day and age we live in. If it's like an OG, they're pretty much gone.
Mm-hmm.
You might get a few but they're pretty much gone. Anything else he tries to spin, they're gonna sit. And now, even still to this day, it's still some sitting as we speak. And I'm like, you went back 15 years ago. They, yo, it would have been a couple hours on a Saturday, and they out the store.
Yeah.
So it's the nature of the biz, man. Like I don't even know I don't even know how to fathom it. Well, I do know how to fathom it, but it's like, how did we get here?
Yeah, but all the Jordans, they all like females, man. Like the one is like that female that she wasn't raw in high school. She ain't had no body, or either she was fat, and then she got out of school and got together, and and now everybody want her. Like, damn, man, she got cold. You know, she might have had a kid, got some thickness, or whatever. You know, the two is that fairy wing gamer girl. Only certain people gonna mess with her. You know, she might be what, you know, they used to say like I hate to use this term, but like she might have been an Oreo back in the day or something like that. Like only certain cats is messing with her. Threes and fours is the hot girls.
Yeah,
Everybody wants to go,
exactly.
especially that four. The five
Exactly.
is kind of hot, but she might, something might be wrong with her. She might, you know, she might be nice, but she got a fucked up grill or something
Yeah.
like that. You know what I'm saying?
She from the hood. She'll fight anybody.
Yeah. She's, you know what? Because to me, the 9, 12, and 13 is like the hood girls. You see them, they be getting this shit from City Trends and Rainbow and Tots. You know, they all together at the table. You know what I'm saying?
I can't even be mad at it. That's funny because I think back to like when I grew up and girls in high school and stuff like that. They had on the nines.
Yeah, you know.
They had on the 11.
Yeah, you know. Like think about it. Like as soon as I saw that all red 9, that patent leather looking motorboat, I'm like, oh, that's for the hood. They know that. They like, we making this specifically for the hood niggas.
Yeah. Hey, when I tell you that man Jordan knows what he's doing, Nike knows what they're doing. Man, it's amazing. First of all, you drop any all red shoe, it's gone. I don't even care the number. I don't care. You drop an all red shoe, it's gone. Give it a couple seconds, it's out of there.
Like when I was with him in 2018, it's like, oh, we gonna come out with the Westbrook 10 on July 2nd. Oh, right before 4th of July. How about that? Memphis Pro, Penny 1, blue, white, and red, right before 4th of July. Red and white 16, 2016. I mean, red and white 12, 2016, July 2nd. Like, oh,
they know what they're doing
here. Like, you know, niggas gonna buy that shit for the 4th.
They know exactly, and it's gonna be the hood. It's gonna be the hood niggas in there, and they gonna be like, bro, I'm about to go out. I need a fit for the 4th. Like they know exactly what you're doing. It's marketing. That's all it is at that point. They know exactly how to get it sold.
A nigga gonna be like, look, I'm gonna go to the Hibbett. I'm gonna get me a fit. I might just get a white tee, get some smoke rise jeans, and the motherfucking jacket.
Can't tell them that, and you can't say you're not fresh. You can't tell them you're not fresh. It's gonna be a full out fight.
If I don't get a white tee, I'm gonna get a Reason shirt or a Hudson shirt, and I'm gonna be.
Hey,
you know what I'm talking about?
You gotta love the culture. That's all it is at the end of the day. You gotta love us. That's all it is, man. You gotta love us. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hey, my man Kevin threw a question out there. What you think about that Jordan 40, man?
Okay. It's smooth on the court. Like it's everything now is solely basketball. Like rocking that shoe.
Had that white, black, and gray with old niggas ago.
Yeah. Anything after that, like I mean, you could. I guess you run into the store or whatever, you know what I mean. But like, I'm about to put that shit on with that. Nah, I think I'm a. You got that one. So I can't get it. Like it's smooth. Like on the court, it's fire. I don't think a lot of people realize that too. Like a lot of people will look at it and be like, I can't wear this. Understandable. But it's the difference between, okay, I can look good with these on everyday life, and then on the court, I can look good as well. That's two different scenes right there.
Now, I'm going to say it. I think I can make it look good with effort, but it's still going to take effort.
And that's the problem. The effort.
It might be like, all right, so I'm going to go back to another time right quick.
Okay.
Now, you remember, the shoe game posted my status when I said this. I was like, people can disagree with what they want, but from the fall of 2010 until All-Star Weekend 2015, Nike basketball was more important than Jordan, other than the Holiday 11 releases.
Yeah.
So
And
people agreeing and some people was disagreeing. I'm like, look.
Nah, that was a time.
I was with Exhibition at the time.
Okay.
Our Zero account in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Like I was selling out of KDs and LeBrons and Kobe's, especially Kobe's. Because we didn't always, Kobe was Foot Locker only for years.
Fact.
Then the limited ones would only come out at House of Hoops. In Cleveland, we didn't get a House of Hoops until 2013. So it was like at the end of the 80s. Yeah. Their first release was the first what the Kobe 8, the OG.
Yes, sir.
So we just didn't get a lot of those Kobe's in Cleveland. I'm a Kobe guy in the middle of LeBron land, But I fuck with LeBron, but when we was talking about the 40, made me think of the LeBron 9, and it made me go off into this Nike basketball thing where the LeBron 8 and the LeBron 10 were better than the LeBron 9, but the LeBron 9 colorways made that shoe. So to me, with this Jordan 40, if they have like a fire ass black and red one, don't make the tip patent leather, because then it'll look like a Comfort 11, a bunch of bullshit. Or either you make it limited, make it sneakers only or something. But that shoe has a lot of potential for colors, but it also looks like the Jordan 2010 without the hole on the side at the same time. So
okay.
It's the exact same shape to me.
It's just with certain models and how nowadays works, certain people got to wear it. Like these influencers or whomever got some huge notoriety to them. That's how a lot of this sneaker game works, other than outside of the OGs and everything else that has a name for themselves. Stuff like that, like certain people have to wear them for them to sell. Yeah. If they don't, you'll see them in any and every store with no problem, no hesitation.
Now, I'm going to just say this. Now, I'm a proud Nike employee. Even though I love Converse. Yeah. Like, I have more than I ever thought I would own. And I had a lot before I started working for Converse.
True.
But it's kind of like if I was in charge of, like, Nike, Energy, Urban, shit, there's going to be a Travis Scott 40. It's going to be brown. It may have a backward swoosh on it. It may not. Because you remember they did that with the 33. They made a Travis Scott 33. Because I feel like with Jordan's 34, 5, and 6, those were actually raw to me, especially the 36. I'm like, wow, they got something here. Now, I didn't buy it, but I considered it. I haven't considered the 35. I was at an outlet in Commerce, and they had some Jason Tatum 35s. I'm like, hey, man, these bitches is hard. But they had a bunch of the off-white shoes with the spikes. Having the at the time, so that kind of superseded that 35.
Hey, don't you're talking too loud because they don't understand. Don't talk too loud now. It might go over heads. You going to dangerous territory, man.
Yeah, man. That 34, 35, and 36 was good. Like they were like, all right, I'm over 40, so it's like, yeah, nigga, you over 40. That's why but it's like, nah. Those were actually good looking. Like I wanted that taco pair, and they had it at the Nike next to the Converse I work at, but I needed it to be a half size bigger. It was an 11. I could wear it, but I needed an 11 half or a 12.
I feel that.
And that.
I feel that. Hey man, if you could pull it off, wear it. Hey, I got to the point now. It's like, you know what? If you like it, wear it. If you can pull it off, wear it. I don't even judge you off your shoes, man. Everybody got their thing, man. Do what you do, man.
One of the things I tell people. And so you on the sales floor, so we deal with people day to day.
Yep.
I tell people all the time, I'm like, everybody should have a shoe that they wouldn't normally have. People are like, I don't know if I can pull this off. I'm like, it's a shoe. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's on, because see, with people, when the hood niggas come into Converse, which is rare, they usually either looking for their kids or looking for something for their girl. Fine. Yeah. But you would think that, like, they look at the shit completely different. I'm like, Nike owns Converse.
Facts.
Real.
Facts.
Real.
Facts.
Yeah, you can use Nike gift cards in here, everything. man, I ain't even know it. What y'all got over here? And I'm like, damn, nigga, you wasn't even trying to fuck with it before. Now you all about it.
The name.
Like, yeah, they put Nike insoles in the Chuck 70s, and you can wear them bitches all day.
The,
It's not like,
and it's the name. It's the name. But and that's why I was going back earlier.
yeah,
Shout out to Converse because they were one of the originators, and people don't know. People really don't know.
because the little dudes that I talk to about shoes, I have to tell them, I'm like, I was young, but I can remember the 80s well, especially the late 80s. I remember Nike really didn't pop off for real until like 88, 89.
That's real. That's real. Yeah.
The hood niggas in the early 80s, the hood niggas was wearing Adidas and Pumas, or they was wearing Chucks.
For OGs. OGs to this day still coming to the store. Oh, y'all got Converse? It's tracksuits. Like, I know.
Yeah. And I know Forces and Blazers were around, but I feel like in the early 80s, you wasn't wearing them bitches if you wasn't hooping. You know what I'm saying? Like, the 90s is when the Air Force One became a luxury product.
Exactly.
Z and JD was wearing them bitches in the Money in That Thing video. It changed everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, that product placement. You know what I'm saying? Now, what year were you born, Aaron?
I was born in 90.
Oh, okay.
I was born in.
Okay, yeah. we 10 years apart.
But listen,
no,
man.
You an OG though.
Yeah,
you an OG with that 90.
When the shit hit the fan, it hit the fan, and here we are.
Yeah, like, cause like 88, 89 is really to me when Nike took off the 3 and the 4. Really the 4, at least in Cleveland. Like, that was the first Jordan I remember seeing a lot of people have back then was the 4. You know what I'm saying? It was and it was mainly the cements. And even though the Fire Red came out kind of at the end of the run of the 4, people had it. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like, I remember people having the 4s than having the 5s. And then everybody who had the 6, 80% of the people just had the black and red ones. You might have a nigga with the white, or you might see somebody with the sport blue, but not for real. The Carmine might have the other, So.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, but okay. So in your early sneaker buying days, because you're from Charlotte.
Yes, sir.
Where were your spots in Charlotte to grab sneakers? Was it a specific mall or a specific area?
It was Eastland Mall. And again, very similar to Northgate.
Okay.
It was us. It was us. So they had Foot Locker in there, Champs, I want to say Finish Line, and Foot Action.
Okay.
It's no way you couldn't leave out of there with something. It's no way, because every store had 100 pair, at least. Like, them were the times where, like, you knew, like, I'm going here. First of all, it wasn't no line. So, because I remember at one point it was like, yeah, niggas had J's, but it was to the point where, like, it was such an influx, you didn't have to worry about getting them. You know what I mean? So 9 times out of 10, and then the mall was 15 minutes from the crib. So when in doubt, we at Eastland. I don't care. We need it. We at Eastland Mall. We grabbing something. If it ain't from one of the shoe stores, it's from another. But yeah, Eastland Mall, and I think my go-to, of course, was Foot Locker. I just always gravitated towards that, of course. But I remember at one point one of my homegirls used to work out there, so it was just like, yo, you know what I mean? So it was definitely good times. It was that Eastland Mall, like, real OGs know about Eastland. Like, it got to the point where, like, we had nothing to do. We going to Eastland. Like, that was where you be, especially like on the east side of Charlotte. Like, we're going to Eastland. Like, it was truly, it truly was a heartbreak when they tore that mall down. Like, truly.
So I got to tell you, we had the same exact thing in Cleveland.
True.
Our mall in Cleveland was called Randall Park Mall.
Okay.
So it was open from 19. It was open from 1976 to 2008.
Crazy.
I worked in that mall from 1998 to 2001. So it was our sneaker mall in Cleveland. We've never recovered from losing it since, because at one point we had Foot Locker, Champs, Lady Foot Locker, Kids Foot Locker, Foot Action, Athlete's Foot, City Blue,
God.
Next, which is now Exhibition.
I got you.
It's the boutique.
I got
Zero.
Yeah.
Um,
So you were guaranteed. That's all I'm hearing. You were guaranteed.
Yeah. It was a mom and pop that was a Nike account that's no longer existing. It's called VIP Sports. They also had, so at one point, all of those shoe stores were open in the mall. Now, Randall was huge. When Randall was built in the 70s, it was the biggest mall in the world. Until Malls of America was built, it was the biggest mall in America. So
I got you.
It was sad when they closed it, because as a kid in the 80s, a teen in the 90s, an adult in the 2000s, it was one of my favorite places to be. Now, there weren't always that many sneaker stores in there, but in the late 90s, early 2000s, that's how it was. So again, you were guaranteed. The only shoe release there, and this is long before I ever worked in a real shoe store, was when the Cool Gray 11s came out in 2001. It was a problem. It was the first time I ever saw niggas ride over sneakers. And this is 2001, so this is before niggas was really reselling sneakers. Niggas was just finding out about eBay in 01.
Facts.
So it was crazy. Like I swear, nobody. I don't know if any. I don't think anybody. What's up, Crystal? She might be the only person from Cleveland in here. But what's up, Rochelle? I swear, a nigga jumped from the second floor to the first floor to get these shoes, and I knew 3 or 4 people there at the time that I didn't know yet.
Yeah.
All could corroborate that this happened. The nigga jumped off the second floor, and it was high. It was high. It was like a story.
Yeah, I figured.
It was like a nigga jumping out the window, and I know he hurt himself. He kind of like halfway landed on some other niggas, ran in there and got the shoes.
I'm about to say, he did all that. He got to come out with the shoe, yo.
Like, I never seen anything like that before or since. And again, it was an all gray 11, because even with the 11s, like, all right, the Concord came out October 2000. Mm-hmm. It took about 2 weeks for it to sell out. Niggas still had their old pairs. The Space Jam did better, but you could still get it. It wasn't hard to get. Nobody gave a fuck about the Columbia. It was there. It was there forever. Some of them lows that came out in April of 01, the white and Carolina, the white and red was selling out before the Columbias was there forever. But that cool gray was a problem.
Yeah.
It was the first. It was kind of like how in the 90s, the 11s, 12s, and half of the 13s was hard to get, where you had to be there. And that was when they was doing midnight releases in Foot Locker. So,
Lord have mercy.
It was a problem. Because when you was talking about the 12s, it reminded me of that, because you couldn't get the 12s. You had to like be there right when they opened. Otherwise, you just wasn't gonna have them. The 11s, the Concords was sort of like that, but it was the breads, the black and reds. That was a problem.
That was every time. Every time.
The only time it wasn't, when they came out in 01, them bitches went on sale because they made so many of them.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Just separated like 2 or 3 months ago. I was hurt because I have newer pairs of it, but that 01, I hooped in it. I wore it in the snow. I'm going to still get it glued, even though I got other pairs. But you know what I'm saying? That 01, it was like a tank. Like I was actually sad when it separated on me from the toe. You know how 11s are.
Yeah, I get it.
But Randall Park Mall was our sneaker mall, and we've never recovered from that. So moving down here to Central North Carolina in 2020, the shopping down here there's nothing to do, but the shopping is decent down here. The shopping is decent because, see, in Cleveland, outlets aren't really a part of our sneaker buying culture.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah, nah. Like, we have an outlet in this area called Aurora, and our outlet there is the premium outlets. It's Aurora.
I got you.
It's a Nike store there, but it's still like 30 or 40 minutes away from most of Cleveland. So it's kind of like you got to be like, all right, I'm going to go to Aurora, where that's like a regular drive here. I mean, I drive 30 miles to and from work every day to go to Converse.
I got you.
But it's like a big deal if you drive that far and you in Cleveland. Like, damn, nigga, how far is it? You know what I'm saying? So it's more about malls and stores in Cleveland, strips, you know.
I got you.
So that's been one of the biggest differences I've noticed from being down here is.
Let me, well, the piggyback on what you were saying. So like the outlets back in the day, like especially the one in Concord Mills, and even in Mebane, it was, yeah. Well, now that I think about it real and holistically, like a lot has changed because I remember going in there and you like you were coming out with something like the what was it, the away penny ones sitting on their chilling, and I was like, yeah, let me go ahead and let me go ahead and get these. You know, like it was, and this was like a Christmas release. And by the time I got up there, like not only were they on sale, but throw another 30 off of that. Like it used to be times at outlets, like, and that's kind of what I loved about them at one point. Like you could leave with something, and at the same time you could leave with like some type of little heat or something like that. But they used to have them, and at one point, and with that, and as well as like you had to be there. It wasn't no, let me check the site, let me talk. No, get up, go. And every time I decided to get up and go, I left with something. Like I was like, yeah, let me see what them all talking about. Boom.
Yeah.
It was, yeah, the outlets nowadays, it's just like, I don't know. Like it depends on the outlets, because some of them are just like, some of them are just like really factory stores. They're not really like an outlet per se. So a lot of them now, it's just like, what you get is what you get. And it's like, you probably ain't gonna do too much. I mean, you got to do a little digging, you got to do a little searching, of course, like how it was always built. But as far as like, I can run in this outlet and get a fit for the night, or at least some shoes, some kicks for the night. Yeah, that era might be dead for real.
Yeah, because I noticed that for me, whenever I go next door into Nike, I'm mainly looking to see what's been returned. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a niche sneaker guy. I mean, again, you sold me some Club C's with Tom and Jerry drawn all over them. You know, I've had those shoes since 2020. If I've worn them, I've only worn them once. But again, they had Tom and Jerry on them, so I had to get them, and they were like $39.99. You know, regular, right? But yeah, to me, it's more so about the returns, just because most things get returned since, you know, the resellers can't make any money off of them. I've seen a lot of Grape 5s get returned, Cement 4s. I've seen a flu game here or there. I've seen a blue penny phone posit here or there. KD4 Nerfs, Aunt Pearl KDs, stuff that we would have dreamed of having back in the early 10s in that era I was talking about earlier, but I haven't seen anybody return those Black 5s.
They not. The crazy part, I forgot what I was doing. I think I had that weekend off or whatever, but and I truly, like, leading up to that, I knew they wanted them, but I didn't know they wanted them. You know,
it was
so, man. So off that weekend, and I end up seeing on social media, it's lines. I'm like, okay, we didn't move back to 20. We didn't move back to the early years, you know. But so they were telling me, man, listen, they were telling me like, oh man, we had to stop doing this, and we couldn't do that, and we couldn't sell, and I was like, oh, they went absolutely insane for these 5s. Like,
probably glad you was off,
man. I had to show my colors, like, you know how that goes, like, because sometimes, like, man, like some of these niggas be trying it, and I'm like, man, all right, like,
All right, so look, this leads me into my next
I
question.
got you.
So we both work for our respective companies, so can't get too raw. But what's the worst release you feel like you've ran? And we could do it by, for me, I could do it by store.
Now,
You know,
when you say worse, you mean like
niggas just
how
killing out for no reason. Like niggas fighting and being difficult and just it's like going against the bad boy Pistons. You know what I'm saying? Are you George? That kind of we ought to have them kind of releases. I mean, I'll start with mine. I mean,
go ahead, dude.
that match 12 was pretty bad. The worst,
The worst, the worst, the
the first Bel Air Fives was pretty bad.
worst. Wow,
That was
I want
that was bad. Like it was niggas calling, threatening. It was bad. Like
oh,
point where I was in the hood doing this release. I'm like, man, I don't know about this. Like, I don't even know if I want to do this. Like, niggas is act like they gonna slip my throat over these joints. Now it's gonna sound crazy. Now you know with Converse, I mean, there's no releases.
yeah.
This online. I miss doing shoe releases, and I miss arguing and outthinking people. I do miss it. I do miss it. Cause like I remember this one time I was at Hibbett when the Black and Red Forest came out in 2019.
Okay.
Hibbett, when that Westbrook 10 and the Penny Memphis Pro, that weekend Hibbett went digital.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
and again, I'll say, I mean, can't nobody do that to me now. I used to charge niggas money to hold shoes. I used to do it. I did it.
Hey, work your benefit.
You know,
Work your benefit.
like Gavin just said, that 2013, 14, 15, 16, I was killing these niggas because, see, I was going to say this. As a store manager, right, I know who's here. I know who really fucks with the store. If I only see you for the hot and hype releases, you're not really a customer to me. You're just a nigga that wants a shoe that I'm gonna sell whether you come get it or not.
Exactly.
So you gotta pay.
Hey, touche.
You have to pay.
Touche.
Now, if you come in and you buying hats and socks, regular sneakers that aren't hyped, and you like, hey man, look, I know, you know, I really want these Space Jams or whatever. I'll be like, look, man, it's gonna be tough, but you fuck with me, so I'm gonna see what I can do. I'll know by Wednesday what I'm getting. You know, whatever. I'll do what I can. But if it's a nigga like it was these two niggas I used to eat lovely off of them. They only bought like they only bought phobes. So
oh yeah, gotta tax that.
Do you remember when they had a pack? It was a LeBron Zoom Generation. It was a Blazer, a Mid Air Force One, and it was a foam posit, and they were all the Vachetta Tan.
Yeah.
And the foam had like a rose gold swoosh.
Yeah.
Them bitches retailed at 300. I was, hey, give me 500. I only had like 8 pair of them bitches. 3 of them, like I was like, I got. And see, what I used to do was, because I'm like, I'm not gonna buy it. I'm not really a big foam guy. I only own maybe, and I know most people are like, that's still a lot, but I only have maybe 10, 11 foams. I don't really have a lot of foams. I haven't bought a foam in years. I think the last foam I got was those ugly ass snakeskin looking ones that was white, black, and red. Remember them? I found them at a Nike in Grove City in Pennsylvania for $69.97. So I just bought them because they were $69.97. Then I ended up finding the shirt. But but this is when I was at that Tier 0 account. This is when I was doing this. So, you know, if you just show up for the releases, you here for the Space Jams. We had those Atmos Air Max ones with the elephant on it. I couldn't really hit niggas up for them because I didn't really know if we was gonna get them. But like, we really getting these bitches? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We know if we even getting them fine, we got them. All right, 400. So you got to give me the money for the shoe and the extra worry. You're calling my phone. You're bothering me.
Right.
That's worth it. So
it's a convenience.
Yeah. Because niggas used to be like, oh, you happy the J's is coming out? And I'm like, yeah, I'm happy because the J's is coming out. But it's like, yeah, nigga, my shit's gonna be free. I'm gonna be able to go home. I can put some money on these bills. I just bought a house. That's what it's
Yeah.
about. Fuck these shoes. I'm gonna get them regardless. Fuck, you know. But I bring all that up to say, when I started working at Hibbett, 2018, the first two releases I worked was those Katrina
Okay.
threes, Hall of Fame threes, whatever
Yeah.
they were.
Yeah.
It was still a million pairs of Shadow 10s and Cool Gray 11 lows just sitting. But we were still doing like the bucket. And I'm like, this all this is here? Oh, I'm gonna be eating this motherfucker. Shit, I'm about to do it again. So I ate a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And then I got the email like from Hibbett Corporate, like, yeah, starting on what was it, like July 2nd, 2018, Hibbett is going digital. All shoes, if they have a release date, they have to be raffled in the system. And I'm like, oh shit.
Hey.
I even took this job. I wouldn't even took this job if I'd knew this was gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? So every now and then I'd be able to make some money if the shoe like came late. Like we got the Black Infrared 6 2019. They came out like the day before the release. So me and my assistant like, well, shit, we got our pairs. We ain't got to raffle these bitches. It's too late. So, hey, 250. Holla at your boy. So, you know, since it's years later, there's no statute of limitations I can admit to my to my crimes.
Hey,
The foams though, I was eating off the foams.
man, listen. Hey. It's been a couple times, man. But like, see, with me, it was a little different because I really started during the COVID era.
Right.
So really, in between, let's say 2020 to really about 20, well, about 23 when 23 started. Like it was, of course, we had the raffles and everything and such like that. So I think anytime a four dropped, it was like, man, I got like, bruh, come on, man. Like it was one of those, and it got so bad. Like, and now 2021 got so bad, it got to the point where like, man, like either we wasn't getting the shoe because it was getting stolen, or like
Ah,
we were projected to get 84. Now we getting 36. So
yeah.
it got that. Now that era of sneaker culture, that was absolutely terrible. I remember the Lightning Force drop. I think that was around. It was 2020. It was 2021. I want to say it was like,
Spring, kind of summer.
yeah. I want to say August.
Yeah, because
Oh,
I remember getting them. I felt like it might have been August, September ish.
yeah. It was warm out. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So
but
so
not
yeah,
hot. It was warm, but it wasn't hot.
exactly.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
remember, and and again, I met Foot Action at the time, Crabtree Mall, whatever. So I remember I was like, yeah, I'm gonna pick it up. Me, my store manager, and my other AM at the time, yeah, we like, yeah, we're gonna get them. Other people in the store, like, yeah, I want them. Da, da, da. Okay, cool. So week of comes. Normally, shit that they'll touch down about Monday, Tuesday. It's like Thursday, nothing. But we see they coming in. So all type of red flags. So we're supposed to get them. Kids Foot Locker supposed to get them. Champ's supposed to get them. Foot Locker's supposed to get them. And it comes Friday. Well, yeah, it comes Friday. No one has them. They release Saturday. No one has them. So crazy part is courtside. I don't know if you're familiar with courtside in Raleigh.
I've been there.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
had. Yeah.
So the end of the night Friday, um, I don't know if I came across it, another coworker came across, I can't remember who, but um, they pulled up their Instagram. Tell me why they had a lightning bolt with the fours from the top of the store, from the counter to the entrance. They made a big lightning of all the fours. I'm like, um, these are where our fours went. Like it got that 20 in between 2020, 2022, 2023. It was a dog eat dog world in the sneaker culture. Like I really truly did hate it because it was hard for me to get certain kicks at that point. Like it was insane, and I was like the second in command.
Yeah, it was bad. Like it's interesting because so much stuff came out at that time that I'm like, they sold out. Like, all right, the Lightnings and the Thunders. Okay, now I know you remember we talking about 23s back. You remember them bitches was 250 for the Lightnings and you got a windbreaker, and the Thunders was 500 and you got like a leather jacket or something with it back then.
You got something back with that
Yeah,
250.
yeah. But so it's like, all right, I've worn my Lightning 4s one time. They don't go with nothing. They don't even go with the apparel that goes with it. It doesn't even match. But I have a gray Old Navy hoodie that I've had since like 2006.
Yeah.
Same exact gray as the wing. That's what I wore with it that time. I'm gonna find the picture on Facebook and I'm gonna post it. Like, see how I told you I wore them bitches once, but I had to have them because of what they were.
I understand.
I've never had the Thunders. I didn't buy them in 2012 because you remember that the Bread 11s came out like the next day or the day after or something like that.
Too close. Way too close.
I don't know why I didn't get them in 2022 or three. I don't know what happened, but
yeah. I passed. Y'all got it.
2021 was rough for me just because on the runner front, they came out with all of the OG runners. They came out with those structures, the Bacons, those Air Max Pluses, the Celery, the Spruce 90, the Concord 90.
Going crazy.
They had all of these runners that I wanted, and they all came out within days of each other. So I'm over here. I'm not getting Jordans to try to get these runners. You know, I'm like hyper blue ones or fours. You know, whatever. I don't care about any of that. Those weird white Oreo fours. I'm like, niggas want these? You know, the military black four, fake military blue. Yeah. I really don't understand that.
Yo, and I that I don't mean to cut you off, but that military 4, yo, you would think they were made out of gold. How niggas was wanting them, man. Like it was insane. Made a couple plays off those, anywho, but yeah, they were going insane. I mean, every day, like from that Saturday to next 2 weeks, y'all got more fours in. Y'all got more fours in. Y'all got more fours in. Hey, I heard y'all got more fours in. How did you hear we got fours in and I didn't hear that? Like that I don't know what it was about that shoe, but I think really from then till today, it's been a epidemic for fours. I don't know what that did. I don't know who influenced that, but it took off after that 4.
You know what? I'm gonna say it started before that. It really started with the black hats.
Yeah. I can't argue that one. But I think I'm going with I guess this demographic. Because of course if you were OG, you know, I don't even question you, you know what I mean? But
it was a regular shoe in 2006. It went on sale. Nobody wanted it. But I got the bitches early, no problem, and I was able to get another pair months later for like $50, brand new.
Like, and that's what I'm saying. See, and now this brings me to kind of a segue to, you know what I mean, the whole sneaker culture, whatever. How do you feel about the game now, today, currently, as we speak?
It's very unpredictable with the sellouts. But before, I would know, like, it's a Jordan coming out. If nobody's called the store about Wednesday for it, nobody's gonna care. I can tell nobody's calling for this. So when you say 2015, we had the Aqua 8, 72 and 10, 11, and the Maroon 6 all came out in consecutive weeks. Maroon 6 got pushed back. It was supposed to come out in October, and it got pushed back to December, and it didn't sell. But I knew, I'm like, us older cats, OGs, like, this is great, but these kids ain't gonna care about this. They ain't caring about Chrome 8s. And 2003, that was a bad release. I had just started working for Foot Action then. It was horrible. It was hood niggas everywhere wanting that Chrome 8. Y'all got them 8s, the Jordans that Kobe wearing? Huh? No, don't even make the white ones. He's like, nah, the black and silver ones. Y'all gonna have them? Let it come out on May 3rd, 2003.
Yo,
I guess so, bro. Knowing that we had them in the back, I'm like, yeah, niggas was on them bitches. But in 2015, I couldn't give them away. But
yo,
it's a weird space. I like it for the fact that the information is
true,
everywhere. You know what I'm saying? We
true.
know about shit coming out
Fact,
next year. You know what
fact.
I'm saying? So it's everywhere. Niggas get the shoes early. You can review them. Like, I was too stupid to buy the shattered backboards in 2015. I could have had them bitches for $87 with my discount. Didn't buy them. I was
Well, you
beefing with her at the time. We wasn't married yet, but we was living together. I'm like, and she even told me later, it's like, yeah, you went out on the soft. You could have just hit them bitches. I'd have never knew. And I'm like, nah, you would have knew. I mean, you saying if she likes it.
and,
Let me know and shit. You know what I'm saying?
hey, that's that. Like, don't tell me what I could have done.
Yeah,
Like, you'd have been cool with it. Like, oh man, oh
yeah.
man.
Because the same thing with the Bordeaux. I'm like, that was around the same time. It was like a month later, but it was still kind of tough. And she saw me with him. She's like, oh, so you got him. I'm like, no, this is the pair from 2011. Look at the gray midsole. You know what I'm saying? Because she know about sneakers. I'm like, nah, you would have knew. You would have knew.
Fact,
Tell me that shit.
fact, fact, fact,
But
fact.
you can, it's good because you can buy a sneaker from any era of time now. So that's also good. But just the unpredictability, these kids wearing these 2000s mesh runners that were, when I worked for Foot Locker the first time, they were like $39.99, or they would be two for 89, two
Mm.
for 99, big baggy pants. My son thinking he raw. He raw, but it's like, yeah, son, you just like me from
Fact,
1998. Baggy jeans. Ooh,
fact.
you ain't doing nothing,
Man,
boy.
I
So it's weird.
yeah, man. I just I think with this era or where we currently at, it's more like it's either hype beats or comfort
Okay.
from
Yeah.
from what I'm looking at because um ASIC ASIC and New Balance is through the roof. So and I'm like, it's nothing wrong with it. It's nothing wrong with it. I do have a couple pair. It's the comfort era and stuff like that. But I also feel like it was just some influencer put it on, and because and respectfully, this is the influenced era,
Yeah.
you know. So if they see it on an influencer, they like, I gotta have it, I want it, and they go after it. So and I can't fault them for the times they living in, but a lot of people I might talk to or like of this era, I'm like, I don't really think you about this life, like and there's no disrespect to you. You could say you a sneakerhead, but I'm like, now do I really want to dive down? Do I really want to dive deep with you right now? Because it's a lot of it. I know you're not used to. Because if I throw any '90s basketball shoe to you, you're not even gonna rock with. Like you're like they don't understand. Like from the Jordan era until 2000, like that nostalgia with basketball shoes is unmatched. Like that takes it to another level because a lot of those 90 basketball kicks sit. They sit.
Mm-hmm.
They might sell out, but they restock and then they sit. So I just feel like this era is just like if it ain't like a hype beat, if it ain't a Travis Scott, if it ain't one of um the well-known designer shoemakers, stuff like that, I kind of feel like if it's not that, it's gonna sit. And if it's not a comfortable shoe, yeah, they're just gonna look past it. And I'm like, man, it's unbelievable where we're at, and it just it's. I'm not gonna say it's sad because now I'm like, okay, it's kind of easier for me to get what I want, but at the same time, it's like, oh man, like we losing the essence of where we were.
Yeah. One thing you said, it made me think of another point that I had to learn early in the in working in shoe stores is, and it's people that have hit me up like, man, I'm thinking about trying to work for a Nike store. I'm thinking about trying to work for Foot Locker or JD or whatever. They're sneakerheads, and I'd to tell them, I'm like, look, the thing that's gonna make it easy for you, you can't look at helping people through sneakerhead eyes,
True.
because they're just not
True.
and they're not gonna get it. They're not gonna understand, because if I start talking about, like, if I talk about a Jordan and I'll throw a year behind it, like, yeah, I still got my 2016 black metallic fives. The way that the person reacts to me lets me
You
know
know.
they're not they really in it. Like, I was helping a
You know.
woman earlier, and she kind of matched it back. It was like, oh, okay, yeah, I remember that pair. It came out in July or whatever. I'm like, oh, okay. So like you with it, but people be like, oh, I don't know all the numbers, and what I'm saying, I just want it, and it's more of that than it is the other.
Yeah.
So
Let me introduce you to this New Balance. Like, yeah.
We got these we got these Blazers over here, or now I'd be like, well, we got the Chucks, black and white. They're $65 high top. So yeah, it's different, but
Yeah. Different time, different era.
it's interesting because it was with the four. It was a lot of fours that came out in 2019, and nobody cared. The bread four was the only one people really cared about, and even that, it wasn't like, we had those black laser fours with the gum bottom. Nobody cared about them. Them flight nostalgia fours, nobody cared about them. Them FIBA fours were dumpster trash. The 12s went, but the fours were around forever. Like, I left Hibbett and went to Foot Locker, and it was still like, damn, it's 50 pairs here. Damn. So what I did to try to sell some of them, and it worked, I put the white laces in them to break up some of that red, and I laced them like like a hood nigga would. And I sold a few pairs. I'm like, yeah, man, we got the Never Broke Again tees over here, and we got it's a red one with the blue. It'll match it. We got the bulletproof vests over here.
Hey, you gonna stop talking about my people, man? Let my boys live now. Let my boys be great, man.
Hey, what customer I'm talking about. I love him though.
Hey, when you said it, I saw it. As soon as you said it, I was like, ooh, yeah, that's.
Well, yeah, the picture I painted earlier: some Smoke Rise jeans and a Reason shirt and some Jordan 9s. The Smoke Rise jeans got the rips.
Oh,
It might have some red bandana in it or something. Yeah, or how niggas will wear like the little patch with the purple jeans. Smoke Rise patch, like, wear the patch. Like, shit hanging off the back of the leg. You know what I'm saying? Like,
hey, let them be great, man. They doing what they know best, man. Let them be great.
But it's like I can paint the picture, and because you know that customer.
Hey, man. Hey. You might still see it to this day.
Oh,
Somebody lived that time.
I definitely see it down here.
Let me talk to you real quick.
Like, man, hey. Because, like, I remember I helped this one nigga with those denim sixes. He was an older dude.
Sure.
But he knew they was sixes. I'm like, all right, he's only know a little something. He was like, yeah, I'm going to get a jean jacket and some jeans and a denim shirt. I'm going to just do all denim. Is that what you would do? And I actually, because Foot Locker, you can have your phone. I can't have my phone at Converse.
True.
But I showed him a picture. I'm like, well, I did a jean jacket, but I wore some khaki pants with it.
True.
Or some brown pants to match the little patch.
True.
And I threw a hoodie underneath the jean jacket because it was cold, and I wore a Bulls hat. Like, you could do that, but just don't all.
Yeah, it's crazy.
He's like, blood out. I never looked at it like that. I'm like, yeah, man.
Don't put a hood nigga on. Never put a hood nigga on. Because now your style is his style. And then he gonna be, you ain't gonna give a nigga no credit. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy.
Dressing like this all the time. Like, nigga, no, you have it. Or my favorite, though, since you talk about that, it'd be like when the bread 11s came out the last time I was with Foot Locker, Christmas of 19. We sold out of them, so niggas started buying the 6 rings because we still had the bread 6 rings. And old niggas was telling me they used to have them back in the day. One dude was going back and forth with me. I'm like, sir, they've only been making 6 rings since 2008. These you might be thinking of the 11s with the pedal. No, I had these.
Hey,
the 90s.
Yo, you gotta let them have it.
And I was like, okay, sir. Hey, you want a shirt to go with him? We got a Jordan shirt for $9.99. It's a 3X. Right up your alley. Yeah, y'all got a hat too and the socks. Sold the nigga a whole fit. If I would have kept arguing with him, I wouldn't have sold him nothing.
No,
So
yeah,
yeah,
he'd be ready to fight you. He'd be ready to fight you.
yeah, nigga, I had these. I said I had them. All right, nigga.
All right, bro. You brought his shirt, hat, and shorts with it, bro. Take it to the rest.
Buy a attach up. Get some socks too, nigga.
Back.
You know. But yeah.
Man, yo, yo. Because even still to this day, like it's customers that come in there and they be like, they'll buy a Jordan or whatever, and they be like, y'all got some shirts, y'all got shorts, and I was like, damn, y'all niggas really don't leave this era alone. Like y'all still, it's still wrapped. Y'all still wrapped tight in that thing. I'm like, oh, this is wild right here.
See, what's interesting is, like, I've always felt this way, and I'm guilty because I have some, but I got them cheap. So, I don't believe in buying specific sneaker shirts.
Okay.
Like, I have a shirt that says Aqua's on it with the Jumpman underneath. You know, because I found it at Plato's Closet. It was like $4. So if I find it like that, fine.
Okay, yeah.
But
I
can't, like, we had all of this merchandise to go with the Maroon 6. We had hats, we had socks, we had jackets. It was nice stuff, but I'm like, it said 1991 on it, so I can only wear it with this shoe. Now, most niggas won't care, but I'm one of them niggas that do.
Nah,
I can't.
That's different.
Yeah, I can't, because it's like, my one nigga was like, well, you could wear the Bordeaux with it, and I'm like, I guess I could, but I can't.
Yeah, it's deeper. It's deeper. That's not what you're not feeling. It's deeper.
I'm like, I'd rather have a shirt with just a black shirt with a red Jumpman on it that I can wear with anything than a shirt, a picture of the shoe on it, or him wearing the shoe. It's like, well, I can only wear it with this shirt. So if I get it, it's gonna be cheap. I'm not paying $40. You know how we had them $50 Nike shirts now with the thick neck and the weight to it. If it's for one shoe, it's a waste of money.
Exactly.
I'm not wearing that shit every day.
Exactly. Hey, I don't even know when I'm gonna wear the shoe.
Yeah, if I'm gonna wear the shoe,
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I might not wear it until next year.
Definitely.
That's how it is.
Depending on the shoe, I got at least a year limit. At least, depending on what I got going on, at least a year limit. So.
Yeah, like my Carmines, I didn't get the last Carmine because every pair I came across was fucked up. But my pair from 14 was still icy because I was still wearing the Countdown pack pair. It just crumbled on me when we moved here. You know, but it was like yellow. Most people would say they was beaters, but they looked like they were from 1991, and I like that. With certain fits, it went.
I feel that.
You know, like a lot of older Jordan shirts that are faded that I probably really should get rid of. But with the stretch Jordans, and I have a few pairs of the Denim 6 that I've customized.
Okay.
A couple pairs look old on purpose. I painted them, whatever. So with that faded Jordan shirt I got from 2003 or whatever, it'll go. Throw a jean jacket over it, a hat, some joggers, be in there.
I ain't mad at it. Hey. Pull it. Hey, get the fit off. Get the fit off.
Well, Mr. Weathers, what is your holy grail?
Ooh, holy of grail. I'm going to say the playoff 12.
Wow. Okay.
Listen. First of all,
your favorite Jordan?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, let me not. I'm not gonna. Well, it's my favorite. It's my favorite. I'm gonna say that because I still see Jordan hitting that shot in those shoes.
Game 1, 97. Yeah.
It was. Oh my! It's so much. It's so much behind that shoe. Like you would think I was there. How I can envision it. You know, like it was a beautiful moment. It was just like, oh man, it's just so much nostalgia with that shoe, man. It's just absolutely beautiful. Like, and still to this day, I ain't worn it. Still to this day, I can't come to wear it. I might look at it and be like, oh, okay, let me choose something else. Like it's God, man, like that time, especially when I was growing up and figuring out, like I'm 7, you know, so I'm still figuring out. I know Jordan's the man. I absolutely love the game, absolutely love basketball, and to see him do that, hit that shot against a great defender, against a great team, and game one of the finals and the iconic, it hits different.
Yeah.
It's different every time. It's absolutely beautiful. Absolutely
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. It was at the end of 10th grade, and I just I'm like, man, this dude is still doing this. Like, this
Yeah.
is wild. Like, I Magic will always be my favorite player, but Michael Jordan is like 1A. I loved watching him play. Um, I remember more about that NBA Finals than '96 or even '98.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the Last Dance brought back a lot of memories where I'm like, I remember where I was when this happened. I was watching this game when this happened. So that was good. That finals, um, I don't remember as much, but that '97, like, I remember that. And I mean, in 12th grade, that was the lockout season. So I barely remember that, the Knicks and the Spurs. Like, that was,
Still good basketball. Still good kicks. Still good kicks at that time. Too.
yeah, if they ever bring back those Allen Houston Vizum up tempos, like, I was hurt when my OG pair crumbled back in the Nike Talk days. I was hurt. And bitches only lasted for like 7 years and they just gone.
Damn. 7 years is crazy.
Because it was those, they came out with those, and they had a football pair. It was called the Zoom Blade D. It was for Terrell Davis when he was on the Broncos.
Okay. Yeah.
Same Vizum kind of bubble, but yeah, I some of the obscure stuff like that where I'm like, never gonna retro these, or if they do, they're gonna be different.
Fact. That's fact. So.
My holy grail hasn't been retroed. It's the Air Max 294 runner. Now, these are only here because these are a thrift find, but they
Okay.
made the light version, but I need the version that's not the light version. It's really one of the only Air Maxes from the 90s they haven't retroed. I posted it before. It's been a while. I'll probably
I think
post it later.
yeah.
This is the shoe I was talking about, but they've never retroed it. It's white, dark gray, and teal, and it hasn't been out. Like, the only timestamp I can give it is Martin was wearing them in the episode where he had got the steel tins.
Okay.
And he do all that stuff and the boot on her car and all of that.
Yeah.
When he was talking about you might get one shoe for $100, he was wearing the shoe I'm talking about. So he had a matching. He had a either a blue or a purple Fat Farm crew neck, and it had the big P and the F. I know I'm getting super detailed,
Now
but
they were
yeah,
fresh. They used to be fresh back in them '90s fits and kicks. Yeah,
that
definitely.
product placement meant as much to me as seeing the athletes wear the shoes, because it's like, damn, man, Martin got the J's too. Will got the J's. Jerry got the J's. Dwayne's got the J's.
Man. But that '90s era, man, it's different. That era was just completely different. Like that was a time. Like,
yeah. And see, I'll just say, at least where I'm from, all of those shoes mattered, but they were always second to the Jordans.
yeah. It's just
Like, oh, you got the Griffies. Oh, you couldn't get the J's, huh?
hey.
You got the Shaq Gnosis. Nigga, nobody wear Reeboks, nigga. If it ain't Reebok Classics, what you about to do with them? Niggas used to clown on Reeboks if they wasn't classics. You remember that? They had a workout with the Ripley bottom, and it'd be clear, or it'd be gum.
That's insane, man. Man. Yeah, and like Nike, just going back, Nike owes Jordan everything.
Yeah.
Like I don't think niggas understand. Like, if we put it in today's perspective, we could be talking. Most of this conversation could have been Converse, and then the other half would have been Nike. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think niggas realize this. Like, yo, like, this man did not only revolutionize the game, he revolutionized a brand, and he's killing it to this day.
Yeah.
Like, it's been some downs with Jordans, but all he got to do is, okay, let's drop this. Okay, let's drop that. Okay, let's do this. the influence, like we gotta pay homage to the man that done it all. First of all, let's dial it all the way back. We gotta pay homage to his mother because
Oh yeah.
again, like Nike legit needs a statue of his mother at headquarters. Because if not, none of this is possible without her. Because he said, "I'm going to Converse. I don't give a damn. It's Converse." She said, "Listen to this," and here we are to this day. Like that. That's different. That's so iconic, and I don't think people felt. I think a lot of people fail to realize that.
Yeah. So look, if you ever get a chance, you have to go to Nike WHQ. It'll make you look at the shit completely different. Now, what sucks is, because all the buildings are named after the athletes. I got to go out there last year.
Okay.
I had made this video and they liked it and they flew me out there.
Okay.
Now I went in the Jordan building.
Man.
They wouldn't let me. I saw a lot of cool shit, but a lot of it I couldn't take pictures of or film. I got to go through the archives.
Also, you seen some shit.
Yeah. So the shoe I was just talking to you about, the Air Max 294, they're in there in the archives. And the people that was with me was like, "Why do you keep sharing at the shoe?" I'm like, "This is my holy grail."
Facts.
Like, we couldn't touch anything either. I wanted to pick it up. My luck, because it's from 1994. My luck, I set it down, something like that,
Exactly.
But you got to go out there, Aaron.
Hey man,
out there.
Like we gonna make some shake, man. We gonna make some shake. I have heard. We gonna make.
I didn't want to come back. Like I didn't want to come back. I'm like, man, because if it ever comes up where I can get a job at WHQ, I'm gonna be there. I've only been to Portland that one time. Got to see where the Blazers play. It's not a bad area. I mean, it's more of us out there than I thought. But, if I can't get to Converse headquarters, I mean, it's still a lot more opportunity with the parent company, obviously, with Nike. But you got to get out there, man. There's like some sort of mural they had of her. It made me think of her because with the Jordan building, like the only part I could film was the lobby where they have the shoes in the case or whatever. And when we were there, all of the shoes were white, and the shoes that were gold were the shoes that he won the championships in. So it was nice, but yeah, you got to go out there. Now what sucked was they had the leather bred fours, the military fours, and the Nike Day shoes, and for us employees they were only $100. They were 50% off or whatever, but the lines were so long that it wasn't even worth it. I don't have either of those. My bread fours from 2019. I still have those here. They're here in the apartment, but my military fours are from 06, and when we moved down here, the wings came off of them.
Dang.
I can't wear out the wings.
Dang.
So, and I wasn't able to get a pair when they came out last year because I had to do some adulting, so I couldn't get them.
Understandable, definitely understandable.
But the fact that they were $100, I could have got both of them for the price of one. But
Dang.
I couldn't. The line was like, it was like a line like from one end of the mall to the other kind of line. It was like one of them where I'm like, man, I'm gonna be here forever waiting for these bitches. I'm gonna miss the whole thing, the whole celebration shit, just waiting for these shoes. So I didn't do it.
I mean, if they're doing all that, it seemed like they should have been like, you know what, like we got a little, like, we got a little something for you, like.
They gave me other shoes.
Okay.
But I didn't have a choice because when they flew me out there, they gave me these Juneteenth dunks that they only made for Nike employees. It was kind of like I was seated because it was a box. I had my name posted on the box. My size.
So you wanted them ones. That's what you wanted them ones. That's what I like.
I felt like that then. It's almost like I'm getting seated. You know what I'm saying? So they gave me those. They gave me a pair of Stussy Flight 89s. I didn't necessarily want those, but they gave them to me for free.
I gotta take.
So I couldn't really.
I gotta take. I gotta take.
Yeah, I went to the employee store and it really wasn't anything in there that I just couldn't get. They had a pair of the Air Alpha Force 88s
Oh,
in the white and blue color. Should have
okay.
gotten them,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I got some Air Pegasus 89s that I had in '89, but then I ended up seeing them like a month later at Rack Room, and I'm like, damn, I should have got something else. I'm like, what are these doing here? And they're like, yeah, these are our most expensive shoes in here. They're
I'd have
$100.
been like, oh God.
I mean, all the stuff I got at the Nike employee store in
Yeah,
Beaverton.
yeah.
When I went to Memphis in 2021, and I got some Adapts, the first
Okay.
Adapts in the mag color.
Okay.
It was the only shoe I got there. She had got a whole bunch of stuff. I only found that one thing, but that what you were saying earlier, let me know. I'll send you some passes.
Okay.
If you're ever out that way, I can send you passes where you can get
Okay.
in. And if you ever want to use Nike.com, I have passes for that too.
Okay.
So, we're basically family. So,
Hey, that's how I look at it.
just send me your email, and I got you.
My
But
man.
yeah, so with you working for, the company, I know that there was a time where it was put out there that it was like, you know, Nike and Adidas were kind of pulling out because they were trying to be more direct to consumer. How did that affect you in any way, or was it kind of just business as usual?
You know how the game go. It's just business. They didn't. They of course it was talks and stuff like that, but um, it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard for and how it was explained to me. Like it's kind of hard to pull out from your origin. So like when you wake up Saturday, you go into a shoe store
Mm.
for like champ. Those the main two since foot action's gone.
Yeah.
So it's hard to pull out what built you because now what you're gonna do now I get it that you trying to do these like the Nike factories and you trying to have your own Nike stores and stuff like that, but like it it'll take a lot for you to break our image in order
Mm-hmm.
to totally build your own because another direction you're going like because not everybody wants Nike, not everybody wants Adidas. Now Adidas like y'all really don't respectfully y'all really don't have, especially the only thing with Adidas is like they don't have the product really in order to sustain their own store because a lot of cats don't come in there and be like Adidas, 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 Adidas. This ain't like respectfully, this ain't the 80s. So it's going to be hard for y'all to just kind of branch out on your own and move because the only thing right now is like the basketball. Like when it comes to Adidas basketball, is really like keeping y'all afloat for lack of a better word.
In a post
Because
world.
and I can't hold you now. So when I play ball, it's in Adidas basketball shoes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So like with Nike it hasn't quite like with me. The bottom of their shoe grips my foot. I'm flat footed, so it really like their player edition shoes or whatever. They really grip my arch, so it makes it uncomfortable. Like I can a few up and downs I'm good, but instantly with Adidas basketball, that boost technology they got in them, my foot sits in it, comfort, let's ride. But and that's neither here or there. But yeah, so for them to pull out and stuff like that, yeah, it's gonna take a lot because even if somebody comes into our store not necessarily looking for a particular shoe, they didn't go to Nike because they can get a variety.
Right.
So
Right.
it's like okay, I can come here and get variety. I might can get a Nike, I might get Adidas, New Balance, whatever, but I'm not overwhelmed with just Nike products. And don't get me wrong, like of course I love Nike as well too, but from time to time, I mean I dabble in this, I dabble in that. If it's hot, I like it, I want it. I don't necessarily care the brand, but the fact that all those options are available makes it more unique. Like I know a couple friends that work in that actual Nike store. They're doing well, of course, but it's really from what I'm looking at. It's really just those Nike head fanatics. Like, I wear Nike, nothing else. And they really don't. They have a lot of good stuff in there, really unique. I done picked up a couple things in there, but it's never. It lacks that culture that Foot Locker and Champs have built. So
I understand what you're saying. I definitely get it. Um, you know, when I worked for Foot Locker last 2019, 2020 after Hibbett, it was it was different than it was the other times. I mean, they didn't have the 50s nearly as much as they used to in the 2000s. Um, have like when I worked at Champs 2006, 7, and 8 on the side, we used to have them like every other month, you know, and the only exclusions would be retros within the last 6 months, wheat Tims, white forces, and they would always exclude shocks. You know, it's the 2000s, so they would always exclude shocks.
Shout out to the Shocks, man. That was an era. Shout out to the Shocks. They trying to bring them back. So
yeah. I mean, the R4s are doing okay, but I don't.
But I the basketball Shocks.
Oh, the Vince Carter.
Yeah, I think it's some rumors of 2026. So hey, I don't know.
I want them to start retroing his actual shoes.
Okay.
That VC2 and VC1 could get. I feel like people might mess with those if they roll it out right and have Vince involved. I don't know. The BB4 was around during the pandemic, and I mean, I didn't really sell it well at Foot Locker because we had it. They randomly retroed the Penny 5, and we had a bunch of Flight Posit 2s, and we had Flight Posit 1s for cheap. Like right before I quit, I got those Knicks Flight Posit 1s, the blue ones with the orange bottom, for like $25. Yeah. Because see, with us, we were fortunate since I told you our store was closed. When we opened back up in July of 2020, everything was on sale, and it was a 50. So everything was on sale, and it was a 50. So I've got stuff from Foot Locker that I still haven't worn. You know what I'm saying? Random Air Max 90s, random Air Force Ones, just, you know, because I'm like, well, they were $25. Like, what can I do?
That's all I can say. Respect, because that's different. Like that, people don't feel that, but that's different.
But what I used to do during the 50s was I would just, because see, I always hear about this Foot Action outlet that used to be in Cary. I
heard it used to go crazy.
Yeah, I always hear about how great it was. That we never had Foot Action outlets in Cleveland. Ours was a Champs outlet.
Okay.
So there, it was. I mean, they would have shoes, but we had two at one point. We had one on the west side. They would have more like sneakers. The one on the east side would have like apparel. So the one on the east, they used to have Mitchell and Ness in there. It wasn't like the throwbacks. They had like the NBA shooting jackets and stuff.
Okay.
All wild, you know, Knicks, Grizzlies, whatever team you got, give it here.
Yeah, them were fire. That's them were fire for real.
So I do miss the 50.
It's not the same.
Even from then, even from 2020.
As far as apparel, you good. Shoes, like you literally have to wait on the release calendar or the exclusion list to know. Because if not, because you thinking, all right, I'm gonna get this, I'm gonna get that, I'm gonna get this. No, like it's not what it used to be. Because they know, they know, but at the same time, it's like so. It really depends on what's hot. Really depends on what's selling. Really depends on what's recent, current, whatever. But a lot of that is like, nah. Like everything that you think is of importance, yeah, cut it out. Nah, you're not getting it.
Okay. All right. So remembering back, because the last 50 that I was a part of was back to school 2020. So it was like the end of July. We had a 50 at Foot Locker, and you couldn't use it on any Jordan ones, lows, mids, or highs. I'm used to it being all right. You can't use it on OG highs, but the mids and the lows would be fair game.
Yeah,
But you couldn't even on
yeah.
them.
It got to that. It got to that point. Now I think that is backed up because they dropping me at like every other week now. It seemed like, but
Yeah.
well, and then see now, depending on the highs, they have lost their value too.
Yeah.
Very, it's very sad. But we're not gonna go down that road right now. But anyway, yeah, they have lost their value. So yeah, I've seen some on the 50 that you could use. So it's just, hey man, it's the world we living in.
Nah, I got you.
Yeah,
Uh, I'll just say the beginning of the beginning of the end of the ones were the Brotherhoods. That was like the beginning of the
that's
end.
true.
That,
That's true.
that was the beginning of the end. 2022.
That's true.
Um, because I feel like if those would have came out in 2020, them bitches would have been gone. Yeah, they'd have been like them smoke grays. I'm like, people want these fake ass unions. People want these, but they're easy to wear.
I just knew I knew the Qs were just gonna go crazy. I just knew they were just going like, yo, give me 8 pair. Like I just knew they were gonna go crazy, and they said, I was like, oh.
It was like the that some people was like they should have made it more Lakery, and I'm like, yeah, I guess I could see that, but
Yeah. So, but the one decline has been said, and the only reason it's selling now is because of Travis.
yeah, it's I'm okay with it. I'm okay with Jordan ones and Dunks being regular shoes again because I'm gonna wear them regardless. So every other than those Dornbecker sixes, the pink and the light
Mm-hmm.
blue, every other Jordan that I bought this year um, was a one.
Okay.
They're actually I was doing a live, I've only bought 3 releases this year that were J's, and they're just the black toes and the UNC reimagines because I mean they were damn near giving them to us.
Sure.
You know,
Sure.
they had that swoosh and they got that 40 on release day. It's like give it here.
Facts. Facts. So that brings up another question. So how do you feel with the whole reimagined era going on? How you feel about it?
I like it because I like
No,
old shit. Like
understand?
like old distressed, old looking things. I mean, I love thrifting. I don't mind the shoes having the yellow. Now I'm not gonna lie, I do still want a 2015 pair of UNC ones. They're dirt now since this pair is out. Um, the tier zero spot I was at, they gave it to every store but mine, so I couldn't get the same
Nah.
thing. I
Uh,
have enough for my store, so
right. No.
but I don't mind it. I mean, I still don't have a pair of Lost and Founds. They're considerably cheaper than they were, but whenever I go to buy them, like for instance, I was I'm sorry,
No,
I
you
just
good.
keep
No.
dropping this. My my mount is messed up,
No, you
so
straight. You straight.
but every time I buy them, I'll find some vintage Converse sneaker that I'm never gonna see again. And it's like, well, it's always gonna be lost and founds, but these white and blue Converse StarTechs from 1984 in my size that are still wearable, I need to get those. I'm never gonna see them again. So,
Hey,
you know, that happens
that's
quite a bit.
whatever. I get that. I get that.
But I'm gonna tell you. Now, do you do used shoes at all, or you only do new?
Oh, it depends, man. Like, cause in my mind, I'm like, I didn't seen niggas like go through a shoe, clean it up, and sell it. I'm like, damn, I know what you did. Like, I know what you did in that shoe. Like, I like and it's not the actual wearing of the shoe. It's the degree of which you wore the shoe. So I'm not opposed it, but it's like I always get that. What did you really do in this? Because I didn't see niggas go to festivals. You didn't walk all day in this shoe. It's hot out here. You didn't sweat it in this shoe, and now boom. And it's not to discourage you for or to change your viewpoint. If do what you do, but just for me personally, it's like ah. So it's just like from what I've experienced, it's like damn, I don't know. And then it depends on how bad do I need this sneaker. So
Right, right. No, I mean, like I find all kinds of stuff thrifting, stuff that I've missed, and it's a lot of Nike statement product that has found its way to thrift stores now.
true.
You know, where because you can't really shoes are so hard to resell. You know, where you're almost taking a loss. You see a lot of people just donating shit, or I need to get rid of this. I need more space, whatever. So you know, I've found quite a bit in this time where I'm living alone again, and I'm in this apartment. It's shoes here, but I just keep finding either stuff I have or stuff I wanted. It's like, all right, and anybody gonna tell me I can't. But I know what you mean about the festivals because I went to Dreamville earlier this year, and it was so many people wearing heat, and I'm like, it's grass and mud.
Yeah, yeah, you got to consider that too. I've been to a couple. I was like, oh, I can't just, So
Man,
yeah,
niggas in that bitch with off whites and all kinds of stuff. I'm like, man, I would never wear those here.
yeah.
I had some of my son's semi cooked white forces where I cleaned them up. They looked they looked respectable, but they was broken in, so they were comfortable. You know how Dreamville is. You know how festivals are. You walking everywhere.
Damn,
You know,
damn weird.
dicks sparked all over. So yeah, it was an experience.
Nah,
That was the first I'd ever been to. I'm used to just going to concerts.
facts. Yeah, I've been to it. I love Dreamville. I'm a big J. Cole fan, so I've been to a couple. I couldn't go to this past one, man, and I truly do hate it because it's gonna be the last one, quote unquote. But yeah, life was
Still
like
don't do it. Just call it something
exactly,
else.
exactly. So, but yeah, life was big lifing, and it was a whole transition. But anywho, so yeah, I had to put my best foot forward, but anyway, trust me. I've been out to Dreamville. I didn't. I ain't really. I wore something that was easy wiped off. I know. I probably some ones. It wasn't nothing too crazy. It was a couple pair of Yeezys. It was just like, all right, just gotta just wipe off real quick. It wasn't nothing like, oh, I'm gonna have to take the time to clean these shoes. Like I got a hot rag, wiped it off type deal. Yeah. So and going in there and any type of like heat, yeah, that was dead.
Yeah. Nah, and I was saying it. I'm like, damn, they wore them here,
Yeah.
But um,
Oh, yeah. Nah, not at all.
it's interesting with Adidas, since we had talked about Adidas, that in a post Yeezy world, that basketball of all things is what's keeping them afloat because they don't really seem. I mean, they've got what Anthony Edwards, James Harden. Um,
AE James Harden, Damian Lillard, God, what's my man's name? Donovan Mitchell.
man, I should definitely remember him being from Cleveland. Ah,
Uh,
go Utah sometime.
hey, hey. I feel like I'm missing somebody, but I can't really think. But AE with him being the face, it's kind of like, okay, let me check him out. James Harden, his shoes is always a freaky design, so
Yeah.
that's kind of why I gravitate towards them. Like I'm like, oh, them like you really got creative control, and you can tell, So it's like it's really because I can't think of another shoe. Maybe I guess the Stan Smiths, maybe, but I don't. I rarely get that, like, cause people coming in like I got Stan Smith, like that might be once a month.
People don't be looking for Sambas?
Nah,
Okay.
nah.
Okay. Yeah.
Maybe some boosts, but nah, just I don't know. It's just yeah, the Adidas ain't. That's that's the only thing I can think about that's keeping them afloat right now. It's Adidas basketball.
Yeah, because and it was crazy. It's happened before a couple of times where Nike kind of got a little cold with the
Yeah.
hoops, and Adidas was able to take over because in the 2000s, I mean, they had Kobe and McGrady. Then later in the 2000s, they had Gilbert and Kevin Garnett and Duncan and Chauncey. That was a nice little roster.
Facts.
Niggas that was actually winning.
Facts.
But,
Facts.
you know, um, but I feel like it comes in waves. It's kind of like, all right, LeBron is at the end. KD is about at the
Yeah.
end. So who's going to be next? Now, Ja Morant has his line.
I, mm,
Don't want to be him. And it's not even about the off the court shit. I just like niggas want Shays because he won. You know, like I have some opinions on what they're doing with his shoe, but I have to tell you off of here. Uh, but you know, like who's gonna be next? Like,
don't know. I did, but and like you were saying, I want to say Ja, I do, but because he was right there.
he was.
He was,
Edward
yeah,
Wallace Jr.
you were literally one award away. But like again, you could take a nigga out the hood, but you can't take the hood out the nigga.
Yeah, I mean, he probably somewhere wearing some 12s right now.
Hey man, this you gonna stop coming for my shoot, man.
Hey, it's. I think here all I got is I have the 2016 flu game.
Okay.
I didn't mean for them to be here. They ended up in a bag. I didn't mean for them to be here. I have a pair of the PSY 12s. I have a sample of the Milan one, the green one.
Okay.
So I didn't plan on bringing those here, but they made it here anyway. So that's storage shit. Like I don't never wear nothing like that. So you know how it is. You got shoes that you only pull
Yeah.
out once a year.
Yeah.
Them bitches don't
Yeah.
nothing.
So, but
I
yeah,
put on
going back
a
to Shadow, I don't know. I think that's the only up and comer for real. But yeah, man, he gotta stay out that light, man. He gotta just like focus on basketball. Like it needs to get to the point where like not only do you stay healthy and you stay out of the news, but you need to be going back to that year. It was what
2 years.
22, about 20, yeah, 22, 22 when he was just like, you might be the MVP. We got to get back to that because like again, like people want to associate with winners, and if you're winning or if you're winning awards, your shoe is going to take off. Like that's what it is. Like we saw that with Curry.
Yeah.
So
Actually, on a lot of Currys.
oh, for real.
Mm-hmm.
I heard that all right though.
Yeah. I mean,
All right.
the only actually, I need to put these back. The one is my favorite. The one is my favorite. Like I've got this in like 6 or 7 colors. I love these, but um, I've even got his takedown shoe because I found it at a thrift store. The 30, the SC30 or whatever. But it's
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I had to get it because it's the breast cancer one. It was only like $9.99. So, you know,
And
but if you ever get that thrifting life, man, I'll help you with that, man. I know you know how you feel, but I do it.
I dabbled in it a little bit. I'm not gonna say I have never done it. So I dabbled in it a little bit, and I kind of just I'm not gonna say it wasn't for me, but it was just like kind of like a spare of the moment. My boy was like, "Come with me." Da, da, da. I mean, I picked up a couple things before. It wasn't nothing too crazy, but it had a cop here, a cop there. So yeah, I mean, as long as I'm not totally opposed. But as long as it looks good, it doesn't look like a beater and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, I'll give it a shot. So yeah.
Yeah. Now you're an Aggie, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So in your time here in Greensboro, because that's where I'm at, I'm in Greensboro.
Mm-hmm.
When you were out here, where were you getting your sneakers at out here?
Um, Four Seasons.
Four Seasons. Okay.
So so Four Seasons. They actually have a Foot Locker, like literally walking distance from the school.
Mm.
So
Summit.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm hitting back.
They also had a little Fashion Ave store. Got one or two kicks out of there as well. And it was also another Foot Locker. I believe it was on East Market Street, like further down, closer to the nice outlets. I don't know if it's still there anymore, but it was kind of like in the back. You really had to like be in that city for some time to know. Like it's out there closer to UNC. It's like maybe 10 minutes from UNCG. Yeah, it was. I got a couple kicks from out of there as well too. But majority of it was Four Seasons.
Okay, where I live is close to UNCG, so I'm gonna have to definitely.
Yeah, I don't know if it's still there. And again, I haven't been in Greensboro since 2019. But I know at one point they were doing well, but at the same time, I know they closed a lot of Foot Lockers that wasn't making money and stuff like that too. So I don't know if it's open currently, but yeah, I did. I definitely dabbled and many times at that store and got a couple 2 or 3 things out of there.
All right. So where if you don't mind me asking, where are you at now?
So I'm in Charlotte. Yeah.
You're in Charlotte right now. Okay.
I currently work at the Foot Locker at Northlake.
Okay. Is that the fancy mall?
Nah, the fancy one is South Park.
South Park.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's there. For the mall out here, they 9 times out of 10 they gonna touch it.
Got you.
Depending on the shoe, of course. Yeah, they when in doubt, they'll probably have it.
Got you.
So yeah.
I just have a few more questions for you.
Talk to me.
Wow. Is House of Hoops still a thing?
So here it is.
Okay.
I know they're transitioning already or moved it. So the thing is, like, they got rid of it. Some stores they're still catching up, but like the mall, or I don't know if you ever been to the Foot Locker in Crabtree recently.
Not since they changed it.
Yeah, you might want to go. You might want to go peep it because all they did was, so they basically they made it a bigger store. So it's basically Foot Locker, Kids Foot Locker, and Ladies Foot Locker in one.
Okay.
So they still have that House of Hoops elements with the products, but it's just they expanded it, and that's what all House of Hoops are supposed to go to. So they're changing. They call it the profile. They're just changing the profile of the store, the look of the store. But yeah, so all they did was quote unquote added Ladies Foot Locker back, and just made it a bigger store. So technically speaking, depending on where you're at, House of Hoops may be there, but shortly they'll expand it to what they currently have or currently going towards.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but if you ever make your way back to Raleigh anytime soon, yeah, definitely check it out. It's something to see.
Yeah, I need to make it down to your way, man. I don't think I've only been to Charlotte. Well, I've been to Concord once this year. It's still Concord Mills, because the Nike store is a clearance store. It's probably my favorite place to shop.
I understand. I
gotta make it down there to see you, because been a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So we definitely gotta link.
Man, just let me know too. So I mean, I'm with it. Hey, we can go pick up the kid. I'm all with that.
Yo, who is your NBA team?
The Miami Heat.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I was a big Dwayne Wade fan, and yeah, I'm riding out with my boys. I always go with the home team. Always support Charlotte, root for Charlotte, try to keep over Charlotte. But yeah, but if I was to tell people, it's the Miami Heat.
Yeah, I have a decent amount of Wade Converses. They're hanging on.
They were different. They were different.
I remember when I was working for Champs in 2007, we had the Wade 2.0, and the way it was colored and designed, people was thinking it was a Jordan.
Ooh, I remember.
Now what was interesting was we got the black, white, and red one. And people bought it. We had got the Marquette one. It came out and it was like instantly on sale. I never seen a shoe like that.
That's crazy.
It came was on sale like a day or two later.
It's a little disrespectful. But I've seen that though. Like we've gotten shoes in and they're on sale. I'm like, what? Like, what we doing here? Make it make sense. Like,
yeah. So
weird. But yeah. Waiting ways, yes sir.
yeah, now he's the third best shooting guard I've ever seen.
Third? Hold on. Let's talk about it. Who's the second?
Kobe.
I can't be mad at that. I'm not. I can't even argue that. I really can't. I really
Greatest
can't.
Heat player of all
I really
time.
can't. Say that again.
He's the greatest Heat player of all time, though.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
By far, LeBron was there for a Sunday dinner. Same thing with Chris Bosh. You got Alonzo Mourning and Tim Hardaway, Glenn Rice. I get it.
But it's way counted.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's like no matter what, it's all let's talk about. Is LeBron going to come back to the Cavs or whatever? No matter what he does, he's the best Cavalier ever.
It's not even debatable.
Nah,
it's not debatable.
To me, it's only debatable with teams like the Lakers, the Celtics, the Knicks, 76ers.
Yeah,
that had like
well-known franchises kind of started the league type, like.
Yeah, because I can't think of, like with the Spurs. All right, you got George Gervin, David Robinson, of course, Duncan. Most people are just gonna say Duncan,
Yeah.
So, but all right, your team. All right. Yeah, they wasn't. I knew the Cavs were gonna beat them, but they weren't the same without Jimmy. It was like their soul had been taken from them.
Yeah. All right. I already know.
Y'all aren't gonna be right. As much as I love him and as much joy as he's brought me, y'all aren't gonna be right until Pat sits down.
This is true. He's true.
He's too old.
It's getting like when I start seeing players walk away from money, I'm like, okay, it's big. Yeah, it's big. It's something else going on because as and especially as a role player turning down money, I'm like, oh yeah, it's something bigger than what's being broadcast because you don't turn that down and go somewhere else where less. Yeah, nah.
And it's just I believe the Heat culture is a real thing, but it's not for everybody.
Touche.
Because
Touche.
it's obviously we do we do the same thing for a living. You and I right now. It's kind of like we kind of have a thing now where we have a culture, but everybody doesn't work out in it at Converse. Everybody it's not for everybody. It's just like it's like that at your store. It's like you have somebody, you have a nigga like Urkel come in. He's not gonna be able to work out with y'all. I mean, maybe he could, but it's the same thing. It's kind of like you got to hire people. You got to hire the right people, and it all goes to the culture because the people shop the culture. They shop the atmosphere. I got to tell you, all this. You leadership.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
It's the same where after a while you get too old because I'm about there where I don't know how many more years I have left doing this. But
understandable.
Yeah. But it's all about a culture and the atmosphere, and you can kind of age yourself out to where Pat Riley, Phil Jackson, if Red Auerbach was still living, Jerry Sloan, Popovich, those guys are too old for this league.
Too sure.
You're
trying to keep your era in a completely different era, and it doesn't pan out, and you're going to get pushed back and backlash, and you either keep up or get out.
Yeah, because I look at it like this: Doc Rivers and Rick Carlisle are on the cusp. They were '80s NBA players. They're on the cusp.
Yeah.
You know. Um,
but they also are player coaches. So, well, maybe well more Rick Carlisle than Doc, but he still is a player's coach. So I guess he is relatable in that sense. But again, you got to keep up or get out. So
yeah, like yeah, some of those guys they're too old school.
yeah,
Like Nate McMillan, the coach, he's too old
yeah,
school. He was an '80s, too old school for
right.
the way they are now.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
yeah, it's different.
Just like now they figured Mike Brown into taking that Knicks job.
Yeah,
I wouldn't take
yeah.
y'all haven't been to them niggas hadn't been to the Eastern Conference Finals since I was in college. Like 25 years ago. And you fired him, Thibodeau? You fired him?
That was wild. That was so unexpected, and it's so disrespectful at that point. And that's how I know, like, it's a cutthroat league. Cause like, do you know what this man has done and did? And what was it? It went to game 6. You were one game away from the finals. Yeah, man. It's just
And I
it's
mean,
like they want instant wins, instant gratification, like the instant turnaround. Like yo, sometimes you have to prime your car before you take off.
yeah,
So
or warm it up.
exactly. So hey man, it's cold out here. Everybody want to win, but they don't want the process it takes to win.
Yeah, I liken that to these females be wanting the wedding, but they don't want the work of the
Oh,
marriage. They just want the wedding.
let's you better be glad ain't nobody on here right now. Ooh, we getting a little deep. We getting a little deep.
I'm not even talking about my situation, but since I've been back single, these females want the wedding, but they don't want the work.
I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna just be quiet on that issue. I'm gonna just but hey, we're here.
She ain't there with you.
Hey, I'm gonna write that down. We're gonna put a pin in that later. We're gonna put a we. It's definitely a penny.
Yeah. All right. Well, Aaron, I appreciate you, being here. We definitely have to do this again.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna also send you my number
I,
in the so we'll definitely get up. But thank you so much. I'm kind of restarting this. This is episode
that's
155.
love.
Definitely had you all sooner. I've been lifing to the point where I just haven't been able to do this, but I'm back. So but I'll definitely send you my info and we'll take it from there, bro.
Yes, sir. Let me know, man. Like, and again, if you need something, don't hesitate. And yeah, I appreciate this, man. I was thinking about this all day. I was like, hey, man, what we gonna talk about? And yeah, it was much love. So I definitely appreciate it, man. And anytime that you want me back, you want me on the next episode, cool, whenever. You know what I mean? So yeah, just let me know.
For sure. Or we might be able to develop something that we do from time to time.
Hey,
So
hey, I'm with it. I'm with it. We can make this thing happen.
All right, for sure. All right, bro. Well, I'm gonna holler at you in a minute. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
And I'll be at you soon.
Yes, sir. Hey, keep buying them kicks, man.
All right,
Keep buying. Yeah.
I'll
Oh, yeah. Hey. Don't get me started now. I'm about to go log in real quick.
All right. We got you.
All right, man. Yes,
Much love.
yes,
Peace.
sir. Be good.
You too.
All right.
All right.